Hey, we have Stef the Messenger here with Come Reason Together interviews. Today we're going to be talking about his projects, things that he has coming up. So first off, Stef the Messenger, we want to thank you so much for coming out and doing this interview with us. First of all, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, how y'all doing, everybody? I go by Stef da Messenger. I'm from Kansas City. Um, yeah, I do music, rap. Do it for the Lord. So my music got a message. That's why they call me Stef. The Messenger. Through music, I speak. I speak certain messages. To get at your conscience, make you think,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. That can leave an effect, that you can take home with you or take wherever you go, you know what I'm saying? So just plant a seed that you can't ignore, things like that. So I use music for that type of impact. Uh, yeah, I'm from Kansas City.
Okay, well, that's definitely something that we can appreciate. Someone with a good message, someone with good vibes, a good heart, who really wants to reach out to the youth, reach out to the people with a true message. Now,
mm,
what inspired you to start doing music? Why was that even an outlet for you?
I mean, when it come to music, like it was, I used to always play with it, rapping and freestyling, stuff like that. I was always good at it, especially writing poetry. High school, just had a lot of thoughts and all that, trapped inside of me. Me growing up the way I did, going through what I went through, of course, it wasn't natural to let things out. You know what I'm saying? So, but through music, it was a platform where I can relate, with people who, think like me and, been through situations like I've been through and they holding it in, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, through this music thing, this is a, platform where I'm able to, do what I never liked doing, which was talking. I guess it was something that God put in me in the first place is to talk, but,
Mm-hmm.
just growing up the way I did and going through what I went through, that kind of was, life was kind of snatching that away from me, and instead I adopted the mentality of, what is it? No talking, just action. You know what I'm saying? That's the Kansas City way of life. No talk, just action.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and that almost led to my detriment, just like it led to a lot of people's demise. When it comes to
Mm-hmm.
their life, they die on that. So.
Okay, so the Lord has definitely spared your life through all the ups and the downs that you've had in life. But music, it seems to be very therapeutic for you to like get out your emotions and things like that. What would you say to those individuals that are out there that are in your shoes? They're that are battling with life and don't have nowhere to turn. Like, what would you say to them?
I mean, that's why I'm out here on it the way I am, cause I didn't, like I said, I didn't see none of this coming. When I say see this coming, I mean like seeing a future,
Mm-hmm.
seeing hope, seeing a reality besides the one I was in,
Mm-hmm.
instead of just the pain and nobody love you and just the the cold world mentality. You know what I'm saying? But there is hope beyond that. Like I said, when I was out there, on my little lonely survival tip, me against the world, even though I was out there crazy like that, I still always wanted, somebody to stop and do something good. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, I mean, I'm 29 now, so back when I was my 18, 19, 17, 20, I used to want that, and
Mm-hmm.
the same folks who, my peers who was going through that too, I believe they wanted that too. Even though they out there wilding and what I'm saying, they look ill on their face and the grimiest stuff is coming out they mouth by the stuff they say. Nah, they want, what I'm saying, they want some good to come to them too. They want some love. They want to find it if they could, and they want peace. That's what they really want, regardless what what it look like, what it sound like. They want peace. You know what I'm saying? And some people just go looking for it in the wrong places, and you know what I'm saying? And it lead to their demise, but it is peace.
Mm-hmm.
It is peace out here. You know what I'm saying? This world offer it through, different ways and different things. But, I found peace in I found peace during the process of seeking my demise, you know what I'm saying? Like when people go and look for peace in the wrong places, while on the journey to do that, I found peace, real true peace in the Lord. So
Okay. And
yeah.
is that what inspired you to write your song Sleepwalking?
Yeah, that's what inspired me to write everything. Like I'm fighting, you know what I'm saying? I'm fighting for, the people who, wanna end their life, wanna, think it ain't no way out. I'm fighting to, be heard by you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When I say you, I mean them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fighting, for a chance to, get a person to, give them a chance to think, sit down and pause and be like, nah, it ain't all bad. It ain't all good, but it ain't all bad. You can make it through this. We can make it through this. You know what I'm saying? You loved out here. You know what I'm saying? It's another way to go about this. You know what I'm saying? And let them know, you know what I'm saying? It's people out here who love you, you know what I'm saying? Because God love you and they invested into, help you, you know what I'm saying, overcome. So, yeah, that's what sleepwalking is about, man. Like,
Okay, well, let's talk about more music. I know that obviously, you do music to reach out to the people. I mean, we've heard of sleepwalking. What else do you have coming up?
yeah, man, I got a lot of music I've been sitting on. The reason I've been sitting on it, what is the reason? I guess I've been trying to, I got a song that's, it's going to be a major collab, and it's going to be big for the city. It's going to be a big movement. So that song been taking so long just because of collabs, man. And, I just been noticing too, like when it comes to certain things, I work slow, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's deep truths, you know what I'm saying, that I want to grasp that can't be rushed sometimes. So sometimes I just got to wait on God's timing. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I do got a lot of, music. And, the process is just takes longer for me just because when it comes to this music stuff, I'm learning everything hands on. You know what I'm saying? Like everything, you know what I'm saying?
So you're doing it all by yourself?
Yeah, everything by myself. And I'm fresh just out of, I don't have no experience, you know what I'm saying? So I'm peeping game, learning it as I go. I've been doing this since about 2012 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of learning the ins and outs of how to do like engineering, recording, things like that.
I was always around people who like knew how to do all this stuff. So all I'm gonna do is write and maybe lay something down. But now I'm dealing with it on a level where, I'm doing everything. Only thing I'm really not doing is, mastering. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to master to that degree. Okay. And the reason why I do it all, like that too, is because it's hard to find, reliable people who you can trust to, who doesn't feel you, in competition with them and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So the best way, for me to control, my progress and this music process is to do it myself. That way can't nobody else, I trust them and then they lose my music and you know what I'm saying?
So have you had any experiences like that where, you did work with someone and
I done had my music just come up randomly missing, lost and energy is hard to get back. When you got certain feelings and stuff in you and you put that energy out there in a recording session, it's hard to regain that and do that again.
To do that again.
I was like, I'm not going through that again. And then, when it comes to this music tip, my stance is different from a lot of other people, so, just because I don't want, what I'm on to get diluted or polluted, you know what I'm saying? I just do it solo. Unless somebody's on what I'm on. But if they on what I'm on, I'm with it. But it's just hard to, because, I stand heavy in this. You know, I don't
Yeah.
just call upon the name of the Lord and praise and you know what I'm saying. It's the full deal for me. You know, I'm about saving souls. I'm about this truth. I'm about the sacrifice. I'm about accountability. I'm about your spiritual growth. I'm about all that. You know what I'm saying? So
And it's so great to hear that. I mean, a lot of guys out there, they have like different platforms for that. Tell us about some of your other platforms that you have to reach people with your
uh,
music, or just for with the truth. What other
I
platforms do you
mean, like
have?
one of the platforms that I've been working on, being consistent in is it's a podcast. It's
Okay.
called Come Reason Together Radio. So 2020, I'm working on expanding that. Getting it on different platforms to where it can be heard.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm about putting the content of truth out there, but I want it to be heard and received. Like I said, because it's not about me either. Like I really want just people to have the opportunity, right, to hear the word in truth. You know,
Mhm.
uncompromised, untampered with, or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I really want people to have that opportunity. And then if you accept or reject God, then that's on you. But in all fairness, I just want to provide the opportunity for people to hear truth, right? And just to be able to ask questions and
Mhm.
hear thoughts and things like that. Because um, the church services really, in church services, you really don't have opportunities to ask
Ask
questions
questions.
and
Mhm.
be confused, and then sometimes people be up there just freestyling, but if you don't really know the word, you taking everything they saying as true, but then it looks like it contradicts later, and then people just end up confused, even though they do believe, but they confused.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Okay, so that platform that you have, Come Reason Together Radio, you
yeah,
said it's a podcast. How long have you guys been doing that for?
man, it's been like a little over a year. Like the Lord just gave it to me out the blue. Um,
Congratulations on year.
Oh yeah, praise God.
Yes.
And man, it's just like I said, it's a platform to discuss truth. You know what I'm saying? And to hear truth raw and uncut. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be like it ain't no politics, you know what I'm saying? It ain't about, money or, membership or denomination. It's just about truth. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm allowing people to, and it's people of different walks of life, different backgrounds and things like that. You know what I'm saying? They able to, be real, be authentic, you know,
Mhm.
and let the God in them, you know what I'm saying, be heard. You know what I'm
Okay. And it's just you, or when you speak of others, like who else is in like the podcast? Who else do
saying? I
you
mean,
have?
of course, it's me, it's probably my partner,
Mhm.
Mr. Frosty Trav, my beautiful wife, Felice, and just a, random guests. And it's people who who got different stances in life, when it comes to this truth. And like I said, my whole goal is because it's one Bible, it's one truth
Mhm.
out here when it comes to this Bible, but it's so much interpretations of, this one truth, and this leading to so much confusion and things like that. So
Mhm.
basically, to solve this problem, we come into reason together, and we ain't running from, what I'm saying, being corrected, being heard, or
Mhm.
dealing with, what I'm saying. We put things out here in the light, you know what I'm saying. Like we not
Wow.
hiding behind no pulpit, no
Right.
mic, nothing. You know what I'm saying. So,
It sounds very interesting. You said earlier that you guys were wanting to expand in 2020. When you say expand, where do you see yourself at the end of 2020 with this podcast?
Lord willing, we'll see. Like it's really up to the Lord. You know what I'm saying. I'm just trying to do the work that He want me to do. Like when I say, I'm saying like just in people's put it in front of people where they can hear it.
Mhm.
That's my goal is. What my goal is for 2020 is to put it in different platforms where it can be heard, where it
What are
can
those
where
platforms?
it
So where
can be
where
seen.
can we hear? Because the Bible does talk about uh, writing it down and making it plain to God. So if God told you, "Hey, Stef the Messenger, where would you like to go with this? What platforms do you want me to put this? You know what I mean? Like what avenues are you willing to go with this?
I mean,
What would those avenues be?
Any avenues where it can be heard or seen. You know what I'm saying?
So what, Spotify?
Of course, we got like social media, any and everywhere on social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really want people to like what I'm in it for is to the Great Commission to make disciples. You know what I'm saying? And through this platform, this is an opportunity for you to become that. You know what I'm saying? And understand, why you ain't one, or you know what I'm saying? If you don't want to be one, the reason why you don't want to be. Because, we not giving you confusion. We giving you truth and clarity. The slogan is, come reason together radio will give you that truth, clarity, and perspective. You know what I'm saying? So we giving you clarity, you know what I'm saying? And clarity you can't run from, you know what I'm saying? That means something that's clicking for you personally up here when it comes to the Bible. It's clicking for you up here, and then, it's up to you to do something with it right here. You know what I'm saying? I just want God to give this fair shot of His glory. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, whenever there's a public platform that you have where you're actually bringing forth truth, of course, there are individuals that are opposed to the truth. So how do you deal with that type of pressure?
Oh, yeah, man. There's a lot of opposition going on nowadays. A lot. Like, man, because church is like, when truth get discussed, it kind of like ruffles the feathers of some certain churches and memberships and leaderships, because now you're empowering their people, right? Like, it's like now if a person is becoming empowered as a disciple and a follower of Christ, now a pastor or whoever feels, less powerful because they're not dependent on them no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And once congregation aren't as dependent on their pastor or whoever anymore, then, that means, the lack of numbers and membership, the lack of money that members are paying. You know what I'm saying? And, I just want the body, and the communities to grow beyond, just being what they are now. Just people who just go to a building and, ain't really impacting and affecting their communities, their families, their, workplaces. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So you have a lot going on. It seems like you got, the music thing going on. But I did want to, go a little bit deeper into the music thing. I know that music is the universal language, and it really does bring people together, whether people know it or not. So, what else are we going to be able to hear from you in 2020 with the music? I mean, are there any tours coming up? Like, what are you doing right now in your city to get your music out?
That's a good question. Like I said, my goal right now is to just get the music that I got recorded, and mix and master, get that out.
So a mixtape? Are we looking at a mixtape? Are we looking at an album, an EP, LP?
No, I got.
What do you have down here?
I got something dropping, but I'm gonna surprise y'all. I don't like letting people knowing too much of what I'm doing. But,
until it's out there.
Yeah, it's coming though. What I'm working on and everything that I got is coming, and it's just, like I said, it's to impact the communities, impact an individual. Yeah, impact them, man. Empower them, empower their thinking. You know what I'm saying? Let them know what they doing. People know what they doing. Sometimes they just, they just want to be cared for. You know what I'm saying? So, and I understand that too. But it's, man, just to motivate, inspire, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, that's something that we definitely love and appreciate. Somebody coming through and really bringing that truth, bringing that consistency. We really do admire that in you.
Man,
Um,
and also
mhm.
not to cut you off too, and it's just standing against. You know what I'm saying? Like I know that's an act of love too that some people are scared to do. You know, like when I was out there, I still wanted, I still like, and people don't grasp this as well because they think love is just embracing and tolerating everything. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? One of the things I did respect is like seeing people stand for something. Even if I'm on something wrong, but you standing for right. You know what I'm saying? Meaning like in your standing for right, you didn't condone my foolishness or call my foolishness right. You
Mhm.
know, I respected that.
Right.
And that's an eye opener, you know, to some people too. Like people really like respect that more so than you just like, you know, embracing what they do and calling it, you know what I'm saying? Because they know, like, you really don't care about me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So,
Okay. Well, it seems like you went through a lot. Tell us about the old Steph the Messenger before Christ. Like, how was he? Like, what type of battles did he face? What type of feelings did he have? Was there love in his heart? Was he lost? Like, bring us all the way back to that Steph the Messenger, and what made that Steph the Messenger come to God.
okay. Well, I always was like, you know, compassion is a thing that God always, you know, put in me. You know, but like when you in the world, things like that, you ain't taught to embrace that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, growing up and, you know, stuff like that. That love, once I understood that that was in me, you know, I was ashamed of it. And, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, go the other way from it. Just like a lot of men, you know what I'm saying? Or a lot of people in general,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they really got to see the love that God put in them, but they run from it and they taught to, you know, deny it and they ashamed of it. Don't get me wrong, I was a lover, you know what I'm saying? Like I was loyal to my detriment, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know. But I didn't really do too much talking, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, no talking. Real
When you say no talking, were you like quiet and shy, or what do you mean by no talking?
um meaning like conversating, you know,
Conversing.
yeah, conversing, conversating, that was considered soft, that was considered weak, you know what I'm saying? Only thing you do is let a person know, you know what I'm saying, like you know who you talking to or something. Because for the most part, you know the way I thought was like, nah, you already know, you know what I'm saying, what time it is, you know what I'm saying. Basically, man, just arrogant, you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
prideful, you know. But what led to led up to God to just going through stuff, you know, growing up in the household I grew up. You know, for me it was a lot of confusion. You
Mm-hmm.
know, confusion. Like when it come to love, it was confusion because you know seeing a lot go down, and then you know seeing you know a parent that you know love you want to do so much harm to, and you know want to destroy your life. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? And I know a lot of other people grew up. You know what I'm saying? As far as where they seeing their parents like they like why did I choose this? You know, why are you
Mm-hmm.
my parent? You know what I'm saying? Like that. I grew up in that type of era. You know what I'm saying? Not both of my parents, you know, but yeah, it was just crazy just seeing a parent, you know, who just yeah emotionally and stuff like that just out of control. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
And around what year did you start to transition
What you mean?
into Christ and accepting Him? Was there a certain where were you
I mean,
when you accepted Christ?
there was times, you know, I grew up in grew up going to church. Like my mama made me go to church, so I always had that seed in me. But it's just crazy how the one who know God and know Christ the most, how they try to do so much harm, do so much harm to you. So that's why a lot of people, a lot of these young generations, they don't like accept God or reject him because who he is and the truth, and they don't really want it. They're really rejected because how it was like mimicked to them by their parents. You know what I'm saying? And that goes a long way. Like nowadays, I run into so many people, who don't like, following Christ because how their parents, forced it on them or displayed it to them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I just grew up in a lot of confusion, just seeing, a lot of domestic violence, you know what I'm saying? A lot of, hate. You know what I'm saying?
So has that affected you
Yeah, I mean,
today? And while I know that earlier you said you're 29. So like do you see the world with everything that you experienced as a child? Like,
God put it in me too to speak up. You know what I'm saying? So me speaking up, that led to a lot of conflict too. And then I just learned that speaking up come with, a lot of conflict. So now my walk with Christ, you know what I'm saying? He called me to do the same thing. And of course it come with a lot of conflict. But I guess he prepared me for it back then. But as far as the, just leading to my demise, it was just having a parent that chokes so much hope out of you. You know what I'm saying? Want to crush your dreams, just crush your existence not because anything you did. You know what I'm saying? So that type of stuff, man. And because of that, life began to be hard, and it seemed like this parent wasn't happy unless I'm just struggling and suffering. All of us as their children. So of course, I eventually hit rock bottom in the world. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, well, all right, Lord, this is my train of thought. I was just like, all right, Lord, I tried to do good, and this what happened. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm about to try, bad, see wrong, try this route and see what happens. So I tried that route, man, and the hurt and the love, the lack of love, and the lack of peace, it just had me out here taking chances, and a lot of people don't know. You know what I'm saying? The stuff I did. You know what I'm saying? Even in the midst of me doing my foolishness, I wasn't the one to be, heard or seen. And that's why I'm glad God saved me, because I'm the type who will, go to hell silently. You know what I'm saying? When I say silently, meaning like, nah, this is where I'm going. This is the route I chose. You know what I'm saying?
Not letting everybody know what it is. Yeah, just out there doing your foolish stuff. So I know you talked about like making choices.
My bad. And it kind of led me on a path of all the hate and the hurt. Yeah, like it led me on a path to like suicide. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no.
Not literally like trying to go hang myself, stab myself, shoot myself, go hit by a car. Nah, it just now I'm taking chances.
Yeah, what type of chances did you take?
I mean, taking chances to, get in conflict with people, funking with, of course I ain't the type who, funk, prove, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't no punk or, stuff like that. But just getting into funk, with dudes, robbing, things like that. And I'm glad I got caught and stopped, when I did, you know what I'm saying? Because that was before everybody had guns, Nowadays, everybody got guns. You know what I'm saying? Back then, you only had a gun if you, because you using it, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And I was just in an environment, man, where, it was just about survival and, nothing else really mattered.
Wow.
Because everybody else hurting too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it seems like you have a very, very great testimony. The Lord has kept you through all of that.
Man, homelessness.
Wow, speak on that.
Like that homelessness, man. And I ain't saying all this to, glory in myself. But like I said, this certain parent, you know what I'm saying? who want to see you down and out. You know what I'm saying? Put me in situations that led to my homelessness. Not because I ain't no grinder, and not because I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I was a grinder. She knew, you know what I'm saying? They know that I was a grinder, you know. Out here, two jobs, 3 jobs, you know. I grind. But they know how to mess up, you know, and ruin your life. You know what I'm saying? And I feel for, you know, other people who, you know, being in situations where their parents was the one who led to their demise, you know, because they don't want to see them, you know, prosper, and to see them doing bad. That's a real thing, believe it or not. So yeah, that homelessness, you know, being out there in the winter, you know what I'm saying, things like that. Just trying to figure it out and survive. I eventually did, you know what I'm saying. You know, God got me before my demise. So.
Well, that's great to hear. So, I mean, you went through homelessness, and you said that you had to like really go through a lot with a certain parent that really wanted you down. I mean, are you still emotionally in that space sometimes, or?
I mean, by God's grace, like I've forgiven that person. And I'm, you know, I still, you know, because of God, you know, if it wasn't for God, I probably would have never seen this person ever in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, never, ever in my life. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I forgive, you know, and still love because of God, you know, and things like that. But I don't hold it against, you know, the person either. But because I'm trying to protect the progress that I'm trying to make, trying to protect my family, you know, I got a son, got a wife, and other things, you know. In order for this person not to be able to sabotage that I do, you know, go about things different. You know, I don't put myself in harm's way, so you can, you know, be, you know, go crazy and, you know, ruin everything that I got. You know what I'm saying? So.
Wow.
I don't put myself in those type of circumstances. And that may result in me not, you know, seeing their parent as much, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But that is what it is. You know, it don't mean I'm still here if you ever need me, want, you know. But,
yeah. Forgiveness is key. You know, when you forgive people, you let go of that burden on yourself. So,
yeah. It don't mean like it still don't hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, of course, it still hurt. Like it really do still hurt. But at the same time, I just accept it. You know what I'm saying? Accept it and quit trying to. You know what I'm saying? Understand it. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause some things I just would never, you know, understand. So I just accept it and just keep it pushing.
Well,
and try to be, you know, whatever God want me to be, despite, you know what I'm saying? The lack of love, the lack of, you know, you know, building up, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Well, I know one of the big things is to be around people that you want to be like. So since you know, have gotten yourself out of those situations around those negative people, and you've put yourself in front of these positive people, how would you say your life has changed?
Oh yeah, like the beautiful thing since coming to the Lord is like, of course, you know, in the midst of, you know, being rejected by family, he's, you know, provided a family of people. You know what I'm saying? That's the beautiful thing about the Lord. Like, people who will love, you know, who will love in a way that I never experienced. You know what I'm saying? So that was new. Like, of course, you know, coming to the Lord and dealing with, you know, going through so many disappointments, hurt, stuff like that. You know, you don't trust nothing. You don't trust nobody. Yeah, but the Lord has allowed me to, you know, be around people who, you know, who love, you know what I'm saying, with no strings attached, who actually want your benefit and want your good, want your progress. And, you know,
Is that something that was new for you?
Yeah, that was really
You never
new.
had experienced that before?
Nah, like, I never, like, And then the other good thing about the Lord and the gospel is the reconciling. Because
reconciliation.
The reconciliation with my other parent. Growing up the way I did, you know, the parent tried to withhold the other parent out of life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Of course I grew up, confused, hurt, and things like that. But at the same time, once you get older, you peep game, and I got the peep game, and now I get to love this other parent based on what's true,
Or you see,
based on what I see and what I really know, versus like the preconceived notions you put in my head because you want me to hate this other person. So that's a beautiful thing too, like being able to grow with the other parent in that aspect.
mm-hmm.
And seeing his growth, seeing his healing, seeing me heal. You know what I'm saying? It's been a beautiful thing.
Okay. Well, I mean, this has been awesome. Again, I want to thank you for coming out, telling us about your life. I wish we could get a lot deeper.
Oh, yeah. And the last thing, too, like, I'm sorry to cut you off,
mm-hmm.
but the last thing, too, is also like, man, I grew up, like, coming to the Lord, I was so confused, traumatized, and just jacked up. I couldn't even communicate. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Like I couldn't communicate.
Tell us about that.
Like the communication aspect that I have now, like, I couldn't, like being able to get words out and things like I can now is, it's a beautiful thing. Even though my communication still isn't up to par, like,
mm-hmm.
Other people would, like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I couldn't communicate. Like, sometimes you can go through so much trauma to like all you got is thoughts in your head. You can't even get out what you've been through. You know what I'm saying? So in that aspect, I want to apologize if what I'm saying isn't able to communicate. If I'm not able to communicate it and bring it out.
You got it out pretty good. So as far as the communication and the trauma, well, first let's talk about the communication. So is it because you couldn't communicate as far as like you didn't want to be transparent, you didn't want to be open, or it was just
it's
that?
Like, as far as like not knowing how to let your thoughts be heard, you know what I'm saying? Because when you grow up and your thoughts is just sabotaged, you know what I'm saying, and just like I don't know the other word for it, like, you know what I'm saying? They just, being so forceful versus, your train of thought, thinking, and living. You don't even get a chance to, you know what I'm saying? You don't even get a chance to, like, understand the way you think, know what you know what I'm saying? Know what you're doing, why you're doing, blah, 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 blah. Without it being, affected, you know what I'm saying? Under the free will of the other person.
Have you ever thought, with all the trauma that you have experienced throughout like your childhood and growing up, I mean, what were some of your outlets outside of music, outside of writing, outside of maybe
probably my biggest outlet was probably crying. Like, believe it or not, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my biggest outlet. That's probably what got me
just crying.
Yeah, crying.
Wow.
Like, I mean, I didn't try drugs. I grew up an athlete though, but I didn't try drugs. Drugs didn't work. I didn't try, you try women, banging women left and right. That don't work. You know what I'm saying? No, don't none of that fulfill that hurt. Stop that. So yeah.
So no counseling was in the mix. Like you never looked into getting.
Nah, no counseling. No, the only thing that got me through was crying and just crying. Yeah. I mean, and that's how I know God is real too, cause like, of course, like when I say cry, didn't nobody ever see me cry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It was something that you did alone by yourself out to God.
Right. It's like when I'm alone at night, you know what I'm saying, or wherever, alone. Tears, dang, what I was gonna say. But But yeah, that crying got me through. Being an athlete, and that was another part, hard part too, because I grew up an athlete too. So having your athletic dreams crushed, what I'm saying, by your parent too. You know what I'm saying? That was a big,
Dang.
you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, being in sports, it kept me out of a lot of trouble too, even though I did get in, the trouble that I did get into.
Mhm.
Yeah, sports probably, preserved me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay. Well.
But yeah, crying and yeah, man, holding all that in, man. Like, I don't wish that on nobody. You know what I'm saying? Other
Mm,
people got outlets. For me, none of them other outlets didn't work. And I'm not going to, like, force myself to go smoke crack because, you know what I'm saying?
mhm.
Like, nah, if something don't work for me, I ain't going to, you know what I'm saying? So I dealt with all that soberly, you know what I'm saying? Just walking around hurt,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying?
Are you in a place where you want to be right now? This where you are right now in your life, is this the place that you want to be, or do you want to see yourself like grow more and get better
Oh,
as far
yeah,
as like
like,
your relationships, who you are as a person, you emotionally, you spiritually, physically, like what are your hopes and dreams of that?
I mean, like, being a follower of Christ, like who I am right now, who I am, who I was yesterday, you know what I'm saying, who I'm going to be tomorrow. Like, it's an ever changing, process where, my goal is to evolve to the man, that Christ, calls me to be, being this new creature in Christ, the old has passed away. So, letting go of all this guilt that came with Stefan, you know what I'm saying? You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Letting go of, a lot of these, different hurts, you know what I'm saying? That's going to stop me from being, the new creature in Christ, Stefan. So, yeah, man, like the goal is, to be, all that, God want me to be and to do everything He want me to do, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of how I feel, my lack of faith, fear, all that. The goal is to, keep pushing forward through all that and, you know, give God some room to, step out on faith and do what He, say. So it's scary, but
You just got to do it. It's
man,
something you
it's
just got to do.
scary. Like, I ain't qualified. I didn't grow up rich. You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have, a lot of stuff that people had,
Mhm.
schooling and, of course I went to high school and, I fought to go to, college and, just had it to be sabotaged so much. If people only understood how, like, how so much I don't know the word that can come, like oppression can come
Mhm.
from your parent, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying, to stunt your future. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If people only knew, I was highly capable to do all that.
Mhm.
But you know what I'm saying? I just had this big old elephant in the room that, wanted to step on me.
So, people say, that God is, He's the all-knowing God. He
Mm-hmm.
controls everything. Do you think that everything that you went through in your life was just God's sovereignty?
No, I believe that now. Like, I didn't know that. Like I used to be mad at
It's
God.
all that He put you through is what led you to be the man that He needed you to be today. You know
Right.
what I mean? So, I mean, do you ever think about that? That maybe that's just something He said, Stefan, before He even put you in your mother's womb. This is what I'm with you, but you about to go through something because I need you to be this man for this moment. You know what I mean? For this particular, leading up to this particular moment.
I mean, I don't think of it like that. I just
Mm-hmm.
look at it like all things work for the good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, cause like my mind is, was too jacked up to even, comprehend. You know what I'm saying? To even trust that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't trust nothing. I didn't trust God. I was going down a path of destruction just because I didn't trust God. Like, Lord, you don't love me. because you don't love me, I respect that. You ain't gotta love me. I really do respect that, God. So, I'm gonna do this. And if I gotta go to hell for it, I understand that, Lord. This was really my thinking. I remember sitting down having this conversation. Like, Lord, I understand that just would come with this. But, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that like the hope I had you out here. You know what I'm saying? Thinking God don't love you and you about to, send yourself to hell. You know what I'm saying?
So when did you start seeing a change in your life?
I mean, at one point, like I said, I remember at one point crying for like 5 years every night. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So every night, just crying. And of course, in the midst of crying, you talking to God, complaining, hurt. But one night, like, I called out to God. You know what I'm saying? And it just went away for some reason. Like,
the tears, the hurt, all of it just went away?
It just got lifted and went away. And I was able to, I had peace. I got peace. And then I was able to, sleep and go to sleep without crying ever since. So now I'm like, that's how I knew he was real. Yeah. And that happened on my way to jail. You know what I'm saying? So when I went to jail, man, jail was a blessing. I was in there, it wasn't nothing but me and the Lord. I was in isolation and stuff like that. And,
Oh, you were in isolation the whole time in jail?
Yeah, when you do a violent crime, they put you up in max. And max, you basically, everybody got their own separate cell. You locked down. I forgot. I think we was locked down for 35 hours. And then we was locked down for 18. 35, 18, or something like that.
Really?
So I'm in there with, people who, one dude, he is facing, his plea deal was life without parole, but he is facing a death penalty. So I'm in there with all types of cats. But God got a hold of me in there, and I just had peace. I had so much peace, man. It was crazy. I had peace. Yeah, I had so much peace to where, I'm fighting my case and stuff. I'm telling God, I'm talking to my mom and stuff when she come visit, praying that I get out. I'm like, nah, Mom, don't pray I get out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Pray for the Lord's will.
So it got to that point where you wanted just the Lord's will.
Yeah,
oh, wow. So scared. That was a real conversion that you was going through.
Right. And people was like, man, you know how it is. People go to jail and they just get really real religious and come out, you know what I'm saying, and go back to their old ways. No, I've been rocking with the Lord ever since.
And that was when? 2010 or?
Yeah, I went in 2010, got out the end of 2010. Yeah, walked out my little probation. I was scared to live because I didn't think I'd be able to live out probation either.
Mm-hmm.
You got to live a certain lifestyle, no fights, no this, no that. I'm like, up to this point, I've never went, a certain amount of time without doing this, that, and the third. So, but I was able to live that out with God, man, and He worked that out.
Okay, well, let's talk about the beauty and everything that you're going through after Christ. How was life for you?
Oh yeah, it's a beauty, to be married. You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing. I got a beautiful son.
Mm-hmm.
Just purpose. He got me on a purpose. Doing some beautiful and wonderful, mighty things that's beyond me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful. Just the privilege to be the light. You know what I'm saying? The privilege to be the light and to serve God. Without the shame, it's beautiful, man. So, I'm gonna ride that till the wheels fall off, to the death of Him, man. For His glory. And that's a beautiful thing. Just to live this life for God the way He wants to. Because in the world, in the past, I was scared to. God gave me a heart of love, versus, fear that I got. So now I'm unashamed. And people look at me crazy and things like that. But back then, I was scared to, be this. You know what I'm saying? But to God's glory, man.
Wow, God has definitely brought you through a whole lot. So one last thing before we, get things wrapped up here. What would 29-year-old Stefan say to 19-year-old Stefan?
Just, man, yeah, man, it ain't the end. Be patient. Just be patient. You know what I'm saying? I gave up instead of being patient. Don't nobody want to be patient when they going through stuff. You know what I'm saying? But if I would have been patient, I probably could have lived to, you know what I'm saying, to see the other side of things without, you know what I'm saying, giving up and going to go do stupid stuff. So be patient.
So that is the message that will actually, hopefully get to the minds and the hearts of the younger generation, that may be experiencing all the stuff that you experienced, coming up. We want to thank you here at Come Reason Together Radio interview. We loved your testimony. God has definitely brought you for a lot further than we could even imagine. And I know that He's going to continue to step into the future, having a great future. So we keep you lifted here at Come Reason Together Radio interviews, and
appreciate it.
Just let us know, where can we find your music? Where can we follow you? Like, what's your social media outlets? Where's all that?
Okay, that's crazy, man. Because I made all this stuff so long ago, but on YouTube, just, look me up. Look up Stef da Messenger. On Facebook. Right now, I'm mostly active on Facebook, because I can connect with people and interact. But yeah, Facebook, YouTube, Stef da Messenger, Instagram. My handle is Gotta Make It to Heaven 816. So hit me up on there. Of course, Come Reason Together on Instagram. I got a Twitter as well, Stef da Messenger. But yeah, man, let's work, man.
Yeah.
Trying to, impact these communities, man. With hope, with life and purpose. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just telling you to call on God's name. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually, call up on His name too, and you know what I'm saying, live this out. You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay.
Yeah. So, man, yeah, thank y'all. You know what I'm saying? Just stay tuned, man. And the last thing, man, is I need y'all support, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, support the move that I'm on, We got some mentoring and all that coming, man. We empowering disciples, We doing it all, man. So just support me, man, please. And I promise, it'll be one of the best, investments that y'all can make. We gonna empower the communities. You know what I'm saying? This is somebody who's really about it. So please, man, give me a chance, man. That's all I ask. You know what I'm saying? And let God work. But other than that, thank y'all, man. Y'all be blessed. Thank you.
Okay, now after this, say, this is Stef da Messenger, and you are watching Come Reason Together TV. 1, 2, 3.
This is Stef da Messenger, live and direct. You are now watching Come Reason Together Radio TV.